So I was 18 when I found out that I was going to be a mother, and I was going to school for pre-med, and I was going to be a doctor. That was my goal, and I didn't really know if I ever wanted children, so I found out I was pregnant with her probably when I was about 4 months pregnant. I had her when I was 18 and a half, almost 19, and I didn't have a lot of family help or really any help, so we had to make sure that we found good care, and I was trying to save as much money as possible. So when I got off work, I was working 3 jobs at the time, and I was so excited to get off work. I usually worked past midnight. I had our daughter at a 24-hour daycare center, so I knew that somebody would be able to be there to take care of her, and I went to go pick her up, and I walked into the room, and it was dark. There was no one there, and all I could hear was screaming in the back, and that screaming was my child, and I walked through the rooms. All the rooms were empty. There was no one there, and I saw her in a baby swing in the back room, just screaming. I walk into the back and I grab her and I ran out of that place in tears, and it broke my heart that somebody would leave a almost newborn baby in a back room by herself. I, from that moment on, knew that I was the only one who could protect my children, and I was not going to put them into that kind of situation for a minimum wage job. School is very expensive, and if it wasn't for having some sort of scholarship, I probably wouldn't have been able to go to school. But we were fortunate enough to find another in-home daycare at the time. Didn't last for very long. She retired only a few years later, and at that time, we found out we were pregnant, so we were having another kid, and we couldn't find anything. We were on the wait list for dozens of places. They wanted about $1,400 a month for 2 kids. Unfortunately, I had gotten a raise at work, which to most people would be an awesome event, and I would be thrilled to take that raise, but that raise put me 30 cents over the Idaho Child Care Program cutoff. We had to choose if we were going to work at all or if we were going to have to stay home and then cut our expenses back. And just fortunate enough to find that Giraffe Laugh had a wait list, and they were going to be opening up a center very quickly. It was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I felt like I could finally finish my degree and work and take care of my kids. And Giraffe Laugh was able to scholarship us. That sliding scale is amazing because I felt like I was still contributing something to my child's care. I wasn't getting it a handout. I didn't expect anybody to give it to me for free, but I definitely wanted some help because I needed it. I needed to be able to finish those goals to give them a better life in the future. I'm graduating and I'm going on to grad school. I'm still doing school, but also my career, but I have time to give to them. That is why it was so important to me, because I couldn't give them my time. I needed to make sure the people that I was putting them in the care of could.
Before this, I was doing active duty Army. We had my daughter, and my wife was about 22 weeks pregnant, and Mika had a history of preterm labor, and that was something that was in the back of our minds. So I had to stay there for months, like all of summer, without seeing my wife or my kids. My wife ended up preterm labor. Grandma was able to, her mom was able to take care, and she had to actually use her vacation days in order to take care of my oldest, Eva. Around the time she was running out of vacation days, Giraffe Laugh said they had an opening. When I was finally able to come back, I heard all these great stories. I had heard that she was really happy, she was being taken care of. Eva ended up graduating from Giraffe Laugh, and when she started kindergarten, it was an effortless transition. She already knows her numbers, her letters. She's one of the kids that can go through everything without a problem. As for the babies, I had a pair of twins that are now 1. We're thinking as of next year they'll actually be coming to Giraffe Laugh as well. We hit a financial time where I didn't have a job anymore. I had just ended my active military contract and I was going into the reserve. During that time, Giraffe Laugh's like, it's no problem, we're going to help you. It saved us. It saved us in a very opportune way.
So 4 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom with 4 beautiful children. September of 2015, my husband informed me that he needed a break from fatherhood, and so he asked for a divorce. My mother, who had kind of helped me raise the kids and who I'm really close with, she's my rock, became sick, and she moved in with me. And Natty, my youngest, was still being kind of taken care of by my mom. And that's where everything kind of started to really unravel, is my mother became too sick to take care of the kids. I was really at my lowest ebb. We had no money. My mother's in the hospital. Their dad's gone. Natty was in preschool at Shadow Hills with Kelly Ferris. When I broke down to her what was going on, she's the one who suggested Giraffe Laugh, and she made one call to this Giraffe Laugh at Giraffe 4, and they took him the next day. At this time, Natty had had a lot of problems. He was speech delayed, he wouldn't make eye contact, he couldn't handle transitions, he didn't like people touching him. What amazed me about Giraffe Laugh was that he wanted to be here. And when I would pick him up, even though it would be late in the day, like almost 6 o'clock, he'd be one of the few people left here. I would come in and he'd be like, "Oh, you're early." I would be like, "No, they're gonna close soon. I'm not early." He's like, "That's huge. That is so huge," especially as a working mom. And when you have all these responsibilities, to know that your child is in a place that not only is he safe and growing and learning, but he loves to be at. I can't even put words to how big that is as a working mom. We got the help that Natty needs. He's doing fantastic. We got him in food, occupational therapy, and regular occupational therapy, in speech, and parent-child interactive therapy. I got my degree in elementary education from Boise State University this last May. Right now, I'm subbing full-time for the Boise School District. To those who give Giraffe Laugh, your help and support is amazing. It gives us a life raft to help us get back on our feet, to be the best people and best parents we can for our kids. They made me see the hope at a time when I literally was so far down at the bottom that I couldn't even see the light.